And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the IGE Community Series 2023 Valorant Bangladesh, powered by ViewSonic Gaming. It's going to be your boy Aggressive here to bring you the grand finals of this tournament. It's going to be a big one. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, because it was a journey for each and every one of these teams that are present now. And honestly, RedViperZ and Deimos Force, they deserve to be here. They went through the thickest of the thins to get to this point. And to get to a prestigious tournament like this and to be able to just hold your ground, it takes time, it takes dedication, and it takes effort. And both of these teams have done their due diligence and they've worked hard to reach this stage. But let's just talk a little bit more about the journey for the teams. Looking at RedViper's performances, they have been phenomenal, going up against other massively prestigious teams such as Apes Together Strong and Insurgent Esports, where they have taken a lot of very well-rounded victories with 13 threes and 13 zeros. But up against the Horsemen, they had their toughest fight, going up on a 13-9. That was their journey to make it over here to the grand finals. It was a long and arduous one. And same goes for the side of Deimos Force. They were no slackers either, going up against multiple plethora of other teams. Of course, arguably, a lot of people would say that the members of RedViperZ, they had the hardest seat. They had the hardest bracket to try and fight against those top caliber teams to reach this kind of stage. But I'm going to be completely honest. It was a fun journey, regardless of whatever you guys have to say. It was a long one. It was a big one. But at the end of the day, for Deimos Force, we can see the team in front of our screens. And with RedViperZ on the side, with Fury, Slimzera, KC1, Wreck-It, Center, and Sub-Zero being able to take the stage. We know how big things are going to get. We know how deadly both of these teams are going to be. But will they be able to rise up to the challenge to just take those couple of steps forward to bring in the real hurt and bring in the real pain? You never really know. We need to see who can rise up to that challenge. They know that for them, this is a glory match. They need to win this one out to just try to gain that experience, to give themselves a pat on the back and be like, hey, we have won out this tournament. It's a big tournament, and down the line with IGE on our sides, don't forget, there's going to be a lot more. And if they're able to prove themselves here, IGE will have them on our radar. They will know that tournaments like this will be extremely important moving on down the line. And things are just going to get better and better. First initial map will be Ascent, picked up by the members of the Deimos Force. Haven from the side of RedViperZ. Pretty standard maps coming in from either side, and with the Icebox being the decider map for this entire best of 3. Looks to be quite heated. A very generalized map pool from top to bottom, I would say personally. But with Ascent being the start off, am I really surprised? Not really. It's Bangladesh, come on. In our region, if there's not an Ascent startup, you know, something is wrong with the team unless it's IGE. They're a team that really does stray away from the Ascent nowadays because they've not completely mastered it. Why would they want to take a map that they know they can take a lot of bets on when their other maps are possibly even more stronger than Ascent? You need to try and understand stuff like this, that hey, when Ascent is being played so often, you're just trying to gamble very specific strategies that you have played over and over and over again. I understand comfort is a very big thing, but comfort on the map of Ascent really just doesn't really matter much, because Ascent now, with the map being out for almost what, 1.5 years, it's just a very standard map that really doesn't change much. You have one specific composition that works out really well, with Loud being the only one who went for an innovative composition, but that innovative composition just really doesn't bear a lot of fruit unless the barebone fundamentals of the team are in sync. And if your opponents have a better team synergy, then this map is just completely impossible to try and beat into. We know that RedViperZ, they've been sticking together for the longest amount of time. No specific roster changes for their side. They're still holding down the ground. But on the other side of the spectrum, you need to worry about a lot more. As we can already see, the agent selection is going on in the background, so we just have to wait a little while longer, ladies and gentlemen. Don't really worry about that. With the jump up, we do see very standard comps from either side. The Astra getting picked up, and so will the KO, with the Jet, Sova, and of course the Killjoy being the primary pickups. Nothing really out of the ordinary. Pretty much you have to have these characters up online, otherwise you're just in a little bit of a rough patch. So back on from the line from there. Really want to know what could the members of Deimos be thinking when it comes down to strategies. From what we know, their coach Blue, he's been a pretty important piece in the puzzle for Deimos Force. He has taken a team that is just full of young rookies into up and coming stars. And will the stars be able to shine brightly here, though? That is going to be something we still need to wait and see. From top to bottom, we do see a little bit more of a slower approach possibly coming in from the members of Deimos Force from what we have seen in the past. They like to be a little bit more out of the box in certain scenarios. Hopefully here, it doesn't really slow them down as much as we were afraid of. Looking back at things though, maybe a different approach could give them a little bit of an edge here. But then again, that different approach could just be something that they don't want to lean forward to. But I digress. Jumping in towards the matchup, seeing exactly what this mirror composition has in store for us, is why I personally always say that Ascent is a matchup that I don't like to watch. We know what to expect from this map. We know what can happen on this particular map. There's nothing really out of the ordinary now, is there? You know which angles your opponents are going to peak. You know which fights are going to happen the most often. And when the odds are stacked against you like that, it's all about the team that has the better prediction, has the better utility usage, and that's the problem. A lot of teams don't really have that fundamental that they can build upon. It's a little bit of a awkward approach, I would say, coming in from the other side. Doomsday going for the Jet instead of a signature Sova. A little bit out of the ordinary, but we know how good Tamin can be when it comes down to his raw mechanical skill and his flicks. The man has kind of, made sure that we all remember how good his flicks is on a regular basis. And for me personally, whenever I'm on a call with this guy, he likes to make sure that we all know how good he is when it comes down to the server. And hey, when it comes down to this guy, he knows what the hell he is doing. That's for certain. Looking back at things though, let's take a couple of steps back from all of this. Talk about the overarching storyline for a second. What exactly could happen on this map? First of all, mid control pretty much a standard that you need to maintain throughout the entire roundup. And unless you're able to maintain that standard, it's just not gonna be a really, how do we put it? A really comfortable map for either of these sides. We are finally loaded in though. Seems like someone needs to visit uh Usonic and check out a couple of SSDs on the side. But moving on back. Deadly. He's opting for a little bit more forward approach here. Out from the side to maybe gain some early information, but for RedViperZ, they have a stack over towards B, and they want to take this side as quickly as they can. Positionally, they're in a good spot, but maybe they need to back off slightly. Otherwise, these fights are not gonna look that good. The first initial duel's already coming in, and Doomsday maybe batting a bit more than he can chew here. Good for the first, gets traded out immediately though. And Specs, you gotta be perfect with the timing here. He gives it up. He's not gonna be able to run around the corner, and Specs maybe just taking the fight there would have been a much more optimum choice. It's shut down, and RedViperZ, they have the site to themselves. You gotta worry about even more here. Timing is key, and timing is everything. It all begins here for them. Deadly. We're from the other side, looking for a couple of shots. Wreck-It's gonna be good for the first. Deadly, good for the trade over onto one. They need a couple of more kills. Deadly! So good when it comes down to the refrags, but it's just not gonna be enough. The bodies kept on dropping, and the members of Deimos Force. A little bit of a disconnect coming in from Tamim and Doomsday and Specs. Because both of them could have played this completely differently. A smoke coming up from the side, Doomsday being able to back off. Things could have been a lot better. But for Specs, second guessing himself there. He just swung out, opted for a fight, and lived through it. Or maybe even possibly go in for a double kill. That's the thing. Whenever you're playing inside of the B side, you need to try and play offside as much as possible. Or you need to try and play in the back of the side. If you're in both houses, it's going to be a lot better. Doomsday, you gotta be careful there, buddy. A little bit too much of an aggressive fight could just mean the end of your life here. Perfect dash coming in from Slimzera. No one really opting to go in for this fight just yet. Doomsday is just holding from the back end. Shots coming in from the side, and Slimzera is gonna be perfect for that execution. Good for the first kill, and Doomsday takes a back seat for it. Looking for even more out here. Slimzera has the Vandal. Good for the kill over onto Fury. And one by one, they're just getting shut down. Oliver, good for the double with KZ1 being able to shut down Muffin. 0 and 2 as RedViperZ, they take a clean round for themselves. The start of Ascent, the shebang. And now is where the real fun begins, with Deimos Force finally picking up their guns. What kind of strategy do they have in store for us? Barebones Basic was a little bit off. I'm expecting a little bit more of an emphasis over on this A side execution, because they have to know they've gone for a double setup over onto one side. You know how aggressively they've been playing B. They're gonna switch it up. They know the answer's coming. And RedViperZ, they're expecting that. Early aggression towards the B side could be the thing that they want here. But with no one showing up, they're making the rotation over to the other end. They need some information to be gained here. Deadly. Early knife, didn't really catch out anything. For that, they need to take things a lot slower. Recon over towards mid, coming in from RedViperZ to gain that early bout of information of where the defenders could be. But this passive approach to hold Ascent is not something that I personally like. I want to see a little bit more utility being emphasized upon, maybe a drone being sent over to mid, just to gain that information, to give them that heads up that, hey, they're heading towards A. And with the utility setup coming in from the Killjoy over on the other side, things could be bad, but Doomsday, perfect on the peak, good for the first initial kill, looking for even more. Doomsday, good for the second. Deadly has a flash in hand. Flash one, flash second. Try to get this catch. Muffin's gonna be good for the first. Over from the side, Deadly, beautiful aim coming out from this guy. Good for the first, and Doomsday, good for his third. 1 and 2, and my god, was an execution perfect. They had the idea of where the fights could be coming, and RedViperZ, they were not expecting a damn thing. No recons, no nothing coming in from the members of Deimos Force. Kind of gave a sense of safety to the members of RedViperZ. They were thinking that, hey, if no one's gonna come for us like this, we're just gonna relax. It's fine, we can walk up, no one's gonna swing us, right? We're holding. 2 seconds later, you see Doomsday just Eagle PQ and Sinji to help. It can happen. You need to be worried about situations like this on a regular basis. You need to be ready for these fights, and when you do not gain information, that is when you need to be 10 times more vigilant. If you're not, it's just going to get tougher and tougher as time goes on. A pause has been taken, so let's take a little bit of a chill here while we wait for the teams to just get prepped up and ready for another beginning. Oh yeah. Before, as we are going to be waiting, I completely forgot about this for a second. Make sure to check out all the links down below on the description. Not down below, actually, it's on the right side because we are on Facebook after all. Make sure to check out all the links on the side. Check out ViewSonic because, honestly speaking, they actually make one of the best gaming monitors out there on the market as of right now. You'll be surprised that a lot of the other monitor manufacturers, they have gone leagues ahead with all of their technology, but ViewSonic, even though they're slow to catch up, they have started producing gaming monitors that can even rival other companies, and also at a much more affordable price compared to those other companies. So make sure to check out all the links down below on the side, down below, and also on the side. Get yourself a ViewSonic monitor because, goddamn, these monitors, if you can get a good one for yourself, will last you a while. I'm running a 75Hz monitor coming in from ViewSonic, and if I had the budget, if I had the chance, I would even get the 265Hz. That is for 280Hz, sorry, that is not currently on the market, being used by a lot of professional players outside of our region as well.
Right
Those
there.
monitors, a lot more affordable, a lot more variable when it comes down to their color quality as well. Check out all the specifications on the side. I'm not going to go into the technical details just yet. But for now, as we do see that Deadly, he has disconnected, possibly some power cut issues, maybe some internet problems. We just have to wait and see. But until the issues gets resolved, I do believe that he is back into the server, and we can jump in just a little bit. I'll start it up to see exactly where they're gonna be headed. Doomsday looking for the over-aggressive peak. Maybe good for the first initial kill there. Yeah, the timing for it. Good tab, but not really the hit that he was looking for. Specs on the other side, looking for his own little bit of an emphasis here. Maybe good for another kill over from the side. Doomsday, perfect with the execution. He does get the strafes that he wanted, but Specs, I don't like this. This could go horribly wrong if he's not careful here. Could get one kill, but that Astra is so important and so crucial for positions like this. He needs to have his smokes prepped up and ready, but in that Specs position, you can also gain a lot of information. No sound cues being given, no nothing. And with Oliver being the only one holding towards mid, could be going into the awaiting arms of the devil if they're not careful. RedViperZ second guessing themselves over towards this A side, but I love the discipline coming in from Deimos. Here comes the first initial smoke, and that's the catch, and he's gonna get put into the bag. This is what I was worried about. There will be a recon coming towards mid. That's a guarantee. You need to expect stuff like this on a regular basis. You cannot like close corners like this anymore on the map of Ascent. Everyone is just so aware, and with Doomsday now looking for even more kills. Good with the spray, good for the first. He's now looking for more. Hold out the side, baby, and he's gonna be able to get the double. Good hold, and with Muffin, now he's just gonna survive. Nothing more needed to be done there. Doomsday, perfection when it came down to his aim. The man was cool as a cucumber. With that Deimos, they take a 2-2, and with the guns in their hand, they need nothing more to try and hold these rounds off. RedViperZ, though, on the other hand, they're in a tough spot because now their economy is slowly but surely getting shut down. With this last buy round and their last ditch efforts to try and survive, how will these buys go? Because if they lose this, Staying on the barrels of a save. Doomsday. Just an absolute beast with the op. Comes arrow over from the side. Dash is gonna be good. Trying to maybe get a catch here over onto one player, but Simzara doesn't really get anything. Muffin, beautiful execution. Doomsday. Okay, ambitious off track, still gets a kill out of it somehow. Muffin with a spectacular aim, good for the first, looking for the secondary. He should be able to get it. One behind Jenny, 9 HP and a dream. He needs to try and hold this one off. Maybe Specs is going to be able to come for the backup. Fury! Beautiful flick up to the face. He gets a catch. And now Specs. How do you get this? The Odin, the All-Father, just so methodical when it came down to the approach. Gets the final kill. As Deimos, they take the third round, but at a pretty hefty cost. All their rounds came at a massive deficit of losing 3 or 4 players. That is the odds that you don't really want to face because your economy doesn't have a chance of building up. You're still gonna get forced on pretty, I would say, unfortunate buys with just a couple of Spectres coming out from 2 of the initiators because they have very expensive utility. They're gonna fall into this trap a lot more unless they start picking up the rounds in a less scrappy fashion. And with the A side rush coming in over from one side, I don't like the odds of this, man. If you'd go really badly in just a couple of seconds, especially due to that 0 point coming in from the side, Deadly maybe good for the first. Muffin, beautiful with the play. Do another Muffin with the triple kill. The lineup kill is perfect. It's Deimos. They hold down the fort beautifully here. Good God, RedViperZ, you need to go in with information, otherwise that A side. It's just a dangerous fight to take, especially with the Killjoy holding it down. And Muffin is one of those players that you just cannot predict. Guy has setups that can easily turn the tides of a battle. These are one of those engagements that you just do not want to take.
Out of charges. Placing sentry.
We're looking for another kill here over from the side. Muffin. Show some respect there. He's gonna need to run it on back. Doomsday, good for the first kill over from the side. Swing out from the left and maybe with another. Ooh, Muffin! Smoke criminal watch. One tap straight to the face. What is this guy on? He's doing God's work out here.
Flawless.
The man just knows everything.
What to expect?
An absolute demon, Muffin. Had the timing, had the crutch, he had everything. That 6th sense to go in for a 1-tap?
Alarm bot out.
What is up with this guy?
Swarm grenade. Placing swarm grenade.
It was beautiful. 5-2 as the members of Deimos Force. They are looking clean and they are looking pretty with this.
Nice and easy.
The 8th round is just about to start it all up. Chances for this fight got a little bit slimmer with time. Doomsday wants to take that first initial duel, but second guesses it. Gonna need to dash out. But with that bout of information that he already found with the Killjoy's positioning, they have an idea of where this fight is headed.
Recovering it.
All the stars being pulled away to see what kind of hole that they could find. And that's the thing. If you find out exactly where the Killjoy is, that is a big chunk of information that has been gained by the members of Deimos. They know a mid push could be coming. They know how dangerous that frontal side hold could get. They need to play towards the back end of the side and Zahil. I don't like the odds of this. They need to run on away, sit inside of the boathouse and just try to survive. A little bit too much of a forward approach and they get shut down because of it. Doomsday good for the first, but he's gonna get traded out eventually. You need to show respect. You need to run towards the side of the boathouse. You know the mid presence is already there. Just hold it from the back of boathouse. You don't need to fight it from stairs. But Deadly is trying to equalize things out for the first initial kill, and now they're looking for more. Sobal should be coming in as well to try and
remaining.
That is perfect. Timing is key. He's gonna need to break it, but a bad position to break. You know the player's not gonna be there. And Deadly A little bit of panic under that pressure. It's not gonna be able to find a catch there. It's shut down, but at the end of the day, with RedViperZ, that is a pretty costly round from them too. 4 members getting shut down like that with only Oliver surviving, barely having enough to eke out a buy for one of his friends. Those are not the odds that you want. But for Deimos, they still have a lot of money to play around with, but with this op investment coming in from Doomsday, things don't look that up for them just yet. Gonna be a push out from the members of RedViperZ. They know what to expect.
Scanning ahead.
With this first initial recon, they are trying to break their way through, but Specs, he's perfect on that Astra. He knows what to expect, and he is controlling his team the best to his capabilities. And when he is in his element, man, it's very difficult to stop. Doomsday on the other side. Get a bit more information as Muffin. Okay, swing out through mid, a couple of flicks to the face, and he just taps them out of existence. Muffin would have on the right side of the bed today, because he is not whipping a single shot, and so is not Doomsday. Sahil, good for the last kill. Shuts down Rekord, and with the 6 and 3, Deimos, they are looking lean with this, especially Muffin. Man on the Sentinel is something phenomenal to watch. And that's the thing, you completely forget that the Sentinel player has to have the best mechanical skill out of the bunch. Because if you ever need good, consistent aim, then of course it has to be a Sentinel player. But if a player has really good aim, and if you put them on a Sentinel, they will thrive, and they will pretty much take over an entire game if you give them an opportunity to. And that's exactly what Muffin is doing. He's confident in his shots. And with that, you're gonna be able to do even more. Muffin swing out from the mid side, looking for that first kill. Catches out Oliver, who was a little bit too overly aggressive on his own accord. Gets shut down, trying to gain some information. Specs with the first initial, spraying out maybe to get one more. Doesn't really find much, but at least he gives the information to his buddies that they are already running in towards him. Muffin, good for the first. Swing out from the side. That's gonna be the first. Maybe looking for the second. But that spray is a little bit questionable. Holds out the shorty for the long range, but sure, Muffin. He's confident with it, then sure, why the hell not? 73 as RedViperZ. They are now staring down the barrels if possible. 9 and 3 scoreline that you really just don't want to be in. Maybe if you believe in the curse, then yeah, but not in a situation like this. Because for me personally, a 9-3 just carries so much weight on this round that you just don't want to be in odds like that. Understand, maybe you're going on the defensive side and your defensive side is a lot stronger, but that defense is quite the hefty feat going up against a team that has this much coordination. A couple of catches though from the side. Doomsday with the open hand and looking to maybe deal some damage over onto the front side. Not really an angle that they want to take. It's Muffin from the other end of things. Oliver, good reconciliation. He knew exactly what to expect. Ears at the corner with due diligence. Stop them from overly aggressing onto their side. With this, the 5 versus 5 retake now begins. RedViperZ, they still have the 100 Sphere to play around with, so that's a big ult that they can get a lot of value out of. Position in leads, good. The first initial ult comes in. The spam is perfect. And Muffin, how is he doing this? How is he so aware of each and every scenario? It's absolutely incredible to watch. Last person over towards the back end of the side. Shorty in hand, and Muffin just swings out. Absolutely no problem. He is confident and he knows all.
So funny.
The all-seer has to be Muffin. Because this guy just is not missing whatsoever. Mechanical skill-wise, the man has it all, but
Last round before
with his team now on his back, coordination is just phenomenal to watch. RedViperZ, they take another loss, and for Deimos, a really clean victory from their end.
way.
Revealing area. Stay down.
I'm looking for even more out here. Sahil. He wants to try and go in for another trade-off, but it's not really working out the way that they wanted. And now Specs up against the entire world to try and survive this one. Odin in hand to maybe try and find something here over from the side. Good for the 1 kill. Now it's all up to Doomsday.
Spike planted.
Good for the first. Updraft would have been perfect here. The fact of the matter is that he did an updraft. If he
Switching
updrafted and
sides.
then swung out from the wall, that would have been the perfect timing that he would have needed. And with the time that it would have taken for Oliver to flick up, could have possibly landed 1 kill. A little bit dicey when it came down to the last defense, but it's completely fine because think about it like this. They dodged out the 9-3 curse, so what if we can do? They're going to be okay with it. 8-3 though. 8-4, sorry. Is what RedViperZ were hoping to get. 75 would have been perfect for them, but beggars can be choosers here. The Swiss around pretty much could seal the deal if they are not careful here. If this goes down to double digits and 10-4, goodbye, good night, and sleep tight, ladies and gentlemen, because this could be a very fast. This could be a really quick best of 3. You don't want to be in tough spots like this. Now positionally, Muffin. He's looking to be a little bit more of a problem. Doomsday. On the back foot here. Looking to be a little bit more of a nuisance over from their end. Wants to try and sell something here. And maybe there's only one player, you don't need a lot more. Walk up from Doomsday. If he has the proper timing for it, and yes, he does. He's already in towards market. And I don't think anyone's none the wiser. He should be able to take the first initial entry at Sahil. Beautiful dink straight to the face. Shuts down Oliver, and with that Killjoy already being gone, things don't look that good. Doomsday gets away with murder here. I see you over from the side, KZ. Good for the first, not really gonna be good for the second. Shock dart finishing off.
Remaining.
But 1 by 1, they're still able to find some kills. Now it's all up to the KO to try and maybe find something here. Wreck-It has absolutely nothing. Doomsday with a chickle peek. Shuts down Wreck-It. 94 as Deimos Force. They took this around in strides. The attacking side looks to be just as good as the defense. Proper hold from their end. Deimos, if this is how they are going to play, you can bet that the team some markings of something incredible. They have mechanical skill to go the distance. Just the discipline and the factors of clutches. If they can build upon that, you know, even further beyond the course. Z1. Squad from the other end, maybe looking to find a kill here with this Jory, but that drone, yeah, that's gonna clear him out. Sahil, he had an idea that someone could be inside of there. They didn't want to risk anything. With KZ on towards the back end of this, maybe if he gets the timing, that's gonna be perfect for him. Doomsday dash out in towards the smoke. Does get the first initial catch. One gets put inside of the back, but that's completely fine and dandy because 1 by 1, the bodies are still going to drop. Doomsday good for the first. The flick was perfect, but Wreck-It faster on the trigger because of the low HP that he had. Already spotted and deadly. He can do whatever he wants. Van has no gun, maybe with a swing out. Oh wait, he does have a gun? Oh no, he only has a ghost. So there's nothing to play around with here. Would just be the catch for him. Let's wreck it. That's freebie. 10-4. Deimos.
Can't say the same for you.
They're not really breaking much of a sweat here trying to get a lot of these rounds. They're precise, they're clean, and they are systematic. While on the side of RedViperZ, they're just getting caught off guard a little bit too much. They need to start thinking about what could really happen and using their utility to gain that information first before the side hits out. The information play is just a little bit too off, in my opinion, because the way that the information is being paired up, really doesn't give them an idea of what's really going on in the map. They're gaining information, they're using utility on one side of the map, and they're like, oh, there's absolutely nothing there. Let's not push that certain side to maybe gain some space and double check that our utility is actually working. Unless you show map presence, unless you show map pressure as a defender on Ascent, you are not going to be able to play this map whatsoever anymore. This is not back in 2012 where people were still learning how to play this map, where they were scared to try and take duels and take fights. They know what they need to expect. They know the timings by heart. For Deimos, they are finding pretty much each and every corner to try and take these duels in. Wreck-It, looking for a kill maybe on towards the side. Not really the engagement that he wants, and he is trying his hardest to try and live through this one. Be good for one kill. He does find Doomsday over onto the side. The Sheriff's not going to be able to catch anything there. Muffin, though, on the other hand, immediate when it came down to the trade, and that could be a possible upgrade if they're able to pick that
30
one up.
seconds left.
Muffin, good for the secondary. Wreck-It. Misses out on a very crucial shot there. That could have been the equalization that they were hoping for, but now it's all up to Slim Zera. He's on the bottom end of the side. Deadly. He's not going to be able to check this guy out, but still, information already found. 11 seconds left on the clock. Needs to get the jump down over from the side. Good for the kill. Muffin's going to be able to find that trade. And regardless of whatever happens, Specs is there on the backside. Get that final blow over onto another. Muffin with the final kill over onto Wreck-It. That is how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. Get the clean kills, get the frags, and shut them down before they can get the plant out. 11-4. As Deimos, they get a couple of free upgrades for their members. As RedViperZ, they're left scratching their heads, trying to think of an alternative here. What could they be doing wrong? I already told you, their setups are a little bit too by the book. Maybe sending over the Killjoy over onto B with the turret placement over towards mid will free up a lot more space for you to play around with. Too much of a passive approach, coming in from the members of RedViperZ. They're getting caught out because of it. I understand the discipline you want to employ, but discipline like this is nothing. Play towards the back end of the side. You need to double up, play for the trades, play for the duels like that. If you can take front-ended duels, use your utility to bait them out. And that's the thing. The raw fundamental play coming in from members of Deimos is just superior in every way. And that superiority is what's giving them the edge here. You need to be careful on these engagements here, Muffin. I understand he's going to be completely heated up, but that heat up just ended in his own life being on the line. Deadly. Be good for a catch here over onto Wreck-It, but I don't want to give anything away. Oliver. Of hefty misses. That's gonna hurt him a little bit here. Looking for another kill over from the side. No smokes to play around with just yet. I do believe that Specs has one more Astral Star to maybe equal things out. Nope, he has absolutely nothing. This is gonna be pretty bad to try and take a hold of. Steadily, 0 points still not in hand to gain that early information. Does finally chuck it. With this, should be completely fine with it. Zahil, good for the first initial kill. KZ, only one with the gun in hand. Misses a very crucial shot. That's 1 by 1. They just keep on dropping. Nothing that he can do to try and turn this one around. 12-4 as members of RedViperZ. They put everything on the line for that round. Now it's already 12-4. Match point, ladies and gentlemen. Try and bring things back from here. It's gonna be a pretty... How do I put it? It's gonna be a pretty difficult one. The way that all of this is going out, Deimos just have a lead on this map that the members of RedViperZ just don't. It's not looking that good for them in any way, shape, or form.
Get out of my way!
And I really think that they just haven't given up hope as Doomsday really gets a catch there. That's a lot of damage already being given. And with the last player already being known, they're just going to brute force their way in towards the side. They're looking for even more kills if they're going to be able to get it. Doomsday perfect when it came down to his trigger discipline. Catches out the player straight to the smoke. Deadly with another one. And one by one, they're just cleaning up with a flawless victory. RedViperZ didn't even know what hit them there. Clean, precise communication and a perfect game plan when it came down to the execution. They forced them over into a corner, and I love the fact that the KO Nate came in right at the very last second to catch them before they could run out of the site. Deadly, he had perfect coordination coming in with Muffin, and all three of the players at the very top, they were communicating properly with one another. Sahil and Specs, they had a very quiet game, but remember, they're the ones offering the most amount of support. Sahil with his recon darts, Sahil with his beautiful shock darts as well to force them into a corner and give some chip damage over onto the players. And of course, the IGL being Specs, he's the one making the calls. He's the one giving information to his team. It's a lot of big opportunities. It's a lot of big changes coming in and out. It's just incredible to see. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be heading on down over into a short little break. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with game number 2. And let's see if Deimos Force, they can take a 2-0 victory, or does RedViperZ have a little bit more of a bite left in them. See you in a bit. The IGE Community Series Valorant, and your boy Aggressive is here to bring you game number 2 of this entire pizzazz. Of course, this is powered by ViewSonic Gaming, so make sure to check out all the links down below in the description, down below or on the right side. Sorry, this is okay. Okay, this is the right side. I thought my camera was inverted for a second. I'm sorry. Facebook can be a little bit weird. I'm normally used to used to casting everything on YouTube, so regardless of that, make sure to check out all the links from the side, because with ViewSonic bringing you such an amazing tournament, you gotta be prepped up and ready to show them some support as well. Plus, if you want really high-end monitors, ViewSonic have you covered with very affordable pieces compared to other branded monitors. So make sure to check out all of them. Links down below on the side. But for now, we really need to talk about the elephant in the room, which has to be the members of Deimos Force. They look so clean on Ascent when it came down to their raw executions. Even I was surprised. The team just clicked. As soon as you snap your finger, the team just completely took over a map. And that is something that is extremely difficult to do, especially on a well-established team known as RedViperZ, because they've been playing together for the longest amount of time. And when you think about it, god damn, being able to take down a team like this to this level is phenomenal. You can't make this one up, because when you know how good a team is, you get the shivers, you get the chills, you're like thinking, maybe this could be a bad thing. There's a chance that we might lose all of this, right? But here, that doesn't really seem to be the case for them. It's gonna be the members of Deimos Force who are now in the driver's seat. They're the ones who are taking control, and they are the ones who are bringing in the pain and bringing in the home. And Muffin, man oh man, he's just been having an absolutely beast of a game. The way that he plays, the way that he's able to take control, is just incredible to watch. And Deimos, they're having a little bit of fun out here. No smokes, they're going in for the second race. Specs, he's like, nah man, I want to frag out too. I hate playing smokes for you guys already. I'm pretty much setting everything up and I don't get enough credit. Don't worry, dude. I know how good you are. I know how incredible you are mechanically as well. Make sure to set up the team and you will take the dub and you will take all the glory for the IGE Grand Finals. So just take a chill pill, relax, and enjoy the show. Everyone back at home as well, grab your dinner, because I still haven't eaten mine, but as gamers, we have a tendency of eating dinner way late into the night compared to early on, so what to freaking do.
Need a drop. Thanks.
The startup's gonna be,
drop.
again,
Thanks.
a very standard take from either end. Nothing really changes here. Out of the ordinary. Gotta look for a little bit more. One towards the side. Gotta wait this one out though. Going to be in a much more of an aggressive angle. Slim Zera does get caught up by the stun, but not really showing that level of okay respect. Muffin casually just walks in towards the B side. Okay, looking for another kill. Wreck-It does get the shutdown. But goddamn, Muffin, you gotta show them some respect there, buddy. You can't just walk into B and act as if nothing ever happened. I know you got a kill, but you gotta chill there, buddy. Lurk-ups are a little bit too overly aggressive, and they're gonna be pretty much the thing that cost him his life if he's not careful. It's gonna be a 1-for-1. That's a trade that you just don't want to get, because that's your Sova getting shut down. Now, without that Sova, they're in a little bit of a tough spot, while on the other side, Doomsday towards contact, looking for the first kill. Slims are up, beautiful for the secondary, good for the third. The trace just did not happen. Slimzer walks away with 3 kills with the Sheriff? Makes absolutely no sense. Sahil, or from the side, maybe got for 1 more, but doesn't really get the catch that he wanted. Slips away in between his fingers, and RedViperZ, they take the first initial pistol round for themselves. Good start from them, because they need something to recover after what happened over onto Ascent. but man, these trades need to happen a lot more simultaneously, because from what just happened here, things just did not look that good for them at all. Simsera though, good for the first initial one tap, gets a catch out of the first. He's gonna be able to get the catch out of the second as well. Slimzera, he's now completely heated up after what happened in the first initial match. They're able to find the frags, and they are now looking for the last. Fury, good for the last 2 kills, and that Vandal in the hands of Slimzera bears fruit for this particular round. God damn, did he find those frags absolutely flawlessly. Over on the top side of the box, onto mid. He had the information, he had the timing, and he had his teammates behind his back. He has absolutely nothing to worry about here. And with that, the jet knives in hand, he's looking to play this a lot more aggressively too. Fury possibly opting for the lineup play over towards B to give him some information, but nope, opting for the first initial fight onto window. Maybe a stun there could have been a slight bit of a better option, but they want to walk up contact play. Fury runs on away, but Muffin, he has the timing for this one possibly. The turret's possibly going to find a catch here. Muffin, he needs to be close for this engagement. This walk up, Muffin, does he expect this? If Muffin makes even the slightest bit of noise, or if vice versa, the Jet makes any form of noise,
Here.
it doesn't look that good. They're literally both facing off against one another over from one side. Either one of them turns around, this could mean doom for either end. It's Muffin. Have to be diligent about your turret here, buddy. If you're not, it's not gonna be looking good for your team, and you need to be careful for this fight. But when it came down to the top down, they need to worry about the flank down. The turret's absolutely gone. They're gonna be able to walk on straight through. Timing is key. Look out behind you! Slimzera's already there.
Down A.
That's one, that's 2,
enemy
that's a
remaining.
4 as well. And Slimzera, man. If this guy heats up right at the very beginning of the match, he is
30 seconds
unstoppable.
left.
These are one of those fights that you just don't want to take against him, but Muffin, he's just as warmed up as well. For what
Placing
happened in that
swarm
last game, he has
Swarm
something
grenade
to
out.
prove here. Muffin, looking to get even more. They're not going to give him anything. Overcooked, over to the point of no return.
10 seconds
Deimos,
Placing
taking a pretty hefty hit.
Swarm grenade out.
And these over-aggressive plays coming in from Muffin could be the do or die for them. Muffin, again, good for another. His raw mechanical skill is giving them so many kills, but these kills do not translate over into round wins, because small mistakes by allowing the flanker to just straight up walk in when you know your team is opting for a very aggressive approach over towards A, it's just not gonna work. You need to tell that, hey, my turret's out of contact, I'm out of range, I'm flanking over onto B. Communication is key when it comes down to Haven, because RedViperZ, they know what's important on the map of Haven. Map control as a defender. And they are gaining that map control in strides. Reckon again is able to catch out Doomsday. Too much of an aggressive play over from one side. Sahil didn't really give him the amount of support that he would have wanted, opting for a peek as such, but I would personally always use a drone instead of a flash for that first initial fight. Doomsday just didn't have an idea of where the player could be. And if it's a player like Wreck-It, he's going to play close contact against the wall, and the flash is not even going to affect him. Tough spots to be in his specs. Wants to maybe find another kill over from one side. Fury's on the top end of the things, though. That's what to expect, and with that, they're able to walk away with something free.
30 seconds left.
3 versus 5, not really a position that you want to be in. Muffin, the last Vandal in hand, he was looking at the opposite side. Maybe a lapse in concentration
One
as they get
enemy
caught out.
remaining.
they're just dropping like flies. Last player already spotted 4 ults. Bets, what are you gonna do here? Good for one, maybe good for another one. Not gonna happen. Not against RedViperZ. They have the control and they have the hold that they wanted. As RedViperZ, they take the 4-0 victory, and Deimos. This map looks to be in a little bit more of a tight spot. But with another buy coming in, and of course, possibly an op going in the hands of Doomsday if he wants to go in for it, and then Hacker sided off. It could be looking up, but with Slim Zera on the other side looking with his own op, could just be a little bit of a problem. A pause has been taken to just calm things down coming in from Deimos. They need to talk things out and they need to communicate. The communication is just not present. They're picking angles that they really shouldn't be. Use utility, then opt for peaks. Play together as a squad. I understand you won on a landslide victory for 13-4, but that's on the last map. You're now on the home turfs of RedViperZ. You need to try and slow yourself down, let yourself get paced up, and then opt for these executions, because you know that the members of RedViperZ are taking a lot of extra space. Then how do you nullify that? You try to gain space of your own and have utility present on the other side so that you are able to just clear them out as you're trying to retake that space. Or, in my opinion, send the Killjoy on a soft lurk and just hold down the flanks. Because if you know the members of RedViperZ are flanking quite often, then you don't need to go in for your own flank. Side executions are present for a reason. Your Killjoy is close enough to gain information, but he or she doesn't really need to get any kills. That's the thing.
Stay safe.
We don't see this often coming in from a lot of Bangladeshi teams, and that's one of the main things that are holding them back. Doomsday, aggressive when it came down to the fights. Zera does get dinged on the first initial engagement though here. We do see an absolute travesty coming in from the side of Doomsday. This man opted to go in for a swing there. That could have spelled doom for him. As with the first initial aggression over towards A, they wanted to sell this fake. They have pulled out quite a bunch of rotations, but with no mid presence now or even anyone close to garage, they know that this is not a seaside hit yet. They could have just waited things out, maybe broken down the seaside a little bit more by trying to get early garage control. That's not gonna happen just yet. AZ possibly getting spotted over from the side. That's the first kill. Doomsday gets the catch over onto one. The recon just pings out pretty much everything. Doomsday doesn't really miss those shots now, does he? Maybe good for another kill. Muffin's gonna be good for the double over from the side, and now the last player remaining will be the Jet with the op in hand.
Spike planted.
And this is pretty much a guarantee. He's not gonna opt to go in for this fight. Once more, it's just Muffin with the turrets, man. He needs to be very careful of how he plays this one out. Positioning is everything, but at the same time, you need to call back that turret on a regular basis. Just to hold different angles for you. Maybe pull it a little bit closer. You are not going to fall into a detrimental situation. Opted for an early fake on A, then went towards C. They found an empty side and they were able to. But that's the thing. These kind of holds only happen once in a while. You need to worry about as well. For RedViperZ though on the other side, they're able to opt to go in for proper buys. Slim Zera does get another op in his hand, and that is a very hefty investment. If this investment is not able to get a lot of value though, yeah, that is where things are going to get a lot tough.
Turret out. Placing sentry.
I need a stop.
And we're jumping in back towards the game, ladies and gentlemen. Small pause has been taken from the side of the teams. They had a couple of technical difficulties. They've now fixed everything up. So with the fast jump over on towards Garage, wait a second, that's a pretty big one. Slimzera still opting to go in for these frags, and he's still able to get away with it straight through the smoke. Slimzera doesn't really skip a beat here. Muffin, good for the first, Slimzera good for the other one. Triple kill with the op, and he's still able to survive this for this long.
Spike planted.
Absolute Chad when it came down to everything. Slimzera single-handedly just held down the entire sideline for his team to get into. And he makes this very winnable for them. Specs trying to play it a little bit cheeky here, possibly looking for a very over-aggressive play to run away with the frag. Good for the first, swing out for the second. Specs played that smoke beautifully, and he gets the quad to finish things off. That is Specs in his prime, ladies and gentlemen. And when this guy is heated up, when you need him to show up as a team captain and as the player, he will. And he will do it in style. Trades were perfect, setup was good, but Slimzera, how do you survive it for that long? That makes absolutely no sense.
About there.
I will never understand how systematic things can be that. Positionally, it's even better though. Specs with the swing out, that's gonna be another catch over from the side. And Specs, man, he's now fully heated up and he is ready to bring in the hurt and bring in the pain as well. Oliver over towards the back end of this one though. Doomsday already has the expected angle. Swing out from the side, and no, Doomsday, you can't miss shots like that there, buddy. But Deadly, he's going to be there regardless to find the trades. Good optimum setups coming in from the members of Deimos, and they have finally found a crack in the armor of RedViperZ. And play towards the back. They can just wait things through. Gotta be a little bit more careful in the way that you play this one out.
Track them down. Revealing area.
And with this, they're able to get a little bit more of a hold. Fury on the other side of things, though, is looking to maybe find one or two cheeky kills over from the side if he wants to. Could be the case for him. But for Deimos, I like the idea that they're going for. They want to play out the long game. They're expecting RedViperZ to go in for a very aggressive play. But Vipers, now that they have been humbled about from these last 3 rounds, they're not going to take these kind of risks anymore. They want to gain information first, and then information to be found has to be coming through Garage. Slimzera, a little bit questionable when it comes down to his positioning, but he wants to play based upon that turret. Swing out from either side could be big, could be a little bit more of a problematic one. Here comes the swing out. The hacker side along that gets the catch, and that's gonna be 2. Sile's gonna be good for the double kill there. Oliver does catch at Doomsday, who was on lurk on mid.
Left.
Now once more it's down to a 3 versus 3, but a 3 versus 3 that is very much in the favor of the attackers. Don't forget with the timing and of course the utility in hand, the defenders, yeah, they have a lot of things to break through before they can get in. 3 flashes in hand, he has 2, 1 on the side, he does miss the very crucial shot. Deadly, deadly, deadly. He could have done so much to help out his team, and Sahil panicking when it came down to the spray. Does get caught out in a pretty tough spot. And that one ult could have been the game changer. The breach ult was already present. They could have used it, but second guesses. What really causes the team to fall apart? Yes, it's exactly one of those situations.
Placing alarm bot.
Turret out. Quick peeks now. Get out out of my way.
Obscuring vision. Taking that back.
That's where we do see a little bit more of an aggressive approach over to the C side, because they know their C side hits have been working out pretty well. And with a very massive gap in the defensive hold of RedViperZ as well on C, it's working out even better for them. Simzera gets shut down as Oliver looking for even more here. Good for another kill. Doomsday, that's a miss that you just cannot afford to have. And Doomsday still holding down the line. He misses a bunch of shots, but that's completely fine and dandy. He has his buddy to give him some backup. Over from the left, over from the right. Doomsday, you gotta be careful about these, man. He's rushing these shots. He needs to take his time. The guy's not able to get the hold, but Muffin's there regardless to turn things around. They're rushing things a little bit too much. Deimos, they need to slow things down. You get the spike down, buddy. You had everything under control, and regardless of that, you still took those duels like that.
I gotta visit the Astral to play some
Slow
stars.
things down. Take it at your own pace. Rushing things a little bit too much can cause that to happen. Thankfully, we don't have an instant replay system, or probably Damin would be flaming us for days here. But that's completely fine. The small victories, after all, is what you're hoping to get. This is one of those victories.
Give me that back.
Sarah, good for the first. Those knives are doing work here. And they need to find even more value out of this. Oliver gets shut down. The spam's going to be good. Slimzera down to very low levels of HP, and he has no way of turning this one around. They're already trying to hold this guy down, but Slimzera's just so quick on the trigger. His peaks are phenomenal, and if he had the perfect crosshair placement there, that was a free kill. He would have had the best chance to try and win out on this eco round, but they still try to hold on to those guns. Positionally, when you think about the economy, the members of RedViperZ, they're in the optimum spot, and Sahil! He can't miss shots like that. He's a 1 HP target. You know he's 1 HP. That's a tough one to be in.
One enemy remains.
Astral Divides tries to give him some form of cover. He's not going to be able to get anything. Spexel, regardless, does get the double. But he doesn't find the final kill. Reckitt's going to be able to get it instead. Slimzera single-handedly got a 4K to turn the round like this.
I'm here to make money, not spend it.
Absolute insanity. How do the members of RedViperZ do this? How does Slimzera do this? The guy just turned it up from the literal tree from the first initial map down over to an 11. You can't make this up. You just can't.
Concealment.
Off your feet!
Out comes Rolling Thunder finally from the side of Deimos, as they do have a C-side to try and run into. Specs, good for the first kill, finally shutting down the demon. That is Slimzera. Doomsday. Another hefty whiff. That's going to be a costly one. Muffin has a lineup to try and maybe tone things down a little bit here. The Muffin needs to have the perfect timing to make this one work. That's going to be a catch over from one side. He needs to run on in to maybe turn things around from here, but for RedViperZ, they are just so quick on these engagements. They have everything that they want. Maybe one more kill over from the side for Muffin. Not going to happen. He doesn't have a second nanoswarm to give from that exact same lineup. Bad spots for the side of Deimos because too much of an over-aggressive play. Doomsday, if he found that kill, yeah, it would have been a really good play for him to get into. He had the timing for it, but he's been whiffing a bunch of shots and his confidence probably rock bottom. You need to take a little bit more of a slower approach. Maybe peak with utility to give you an even better chance of winning those 50-50s.
Astral to do them Astral Guardian things I do.
These tough spots.
Right there.
This is where a team really starts to shine. Because when you know the momentum is this heavily in favor of RedViperZ right now, it's gonna get even more tough. Doomsday trying to go in for a run-in. The Spectre's in hand, Smoke's in place. He has everything to play with here. Spec set him up for the site. And with the site now his, he just needs to relax. He needs to play things a little bit slow here. Ult has been popped to maybe get that first bout of information coming in. But they're not going to be able to deny the plan. RedViperZ, they need to start off on the back foot here. But with Specs in hand with the Astral Divide, they're going to be looking more than happy about this. Push out over from one side, maybe trying to get a catch over onto one. Oliver's just better on the flick. Good for the first, maybe good for the second. And one by one, they're just starting to drop like flies. Specs, last one remaining, doesn't really have anything to play with. The 8 and 4 that they were served, RedViperZ, they're going to be able to answer back with their own dish. 8-4 for their own side as they head over to the much more stronger side of this map on the attack. And if this is the level of synergy and coordination, that we are witnessing from RedViperZ on the defense carry over to the attack, Deimos Force, this is going to be tough for them to try and break into. You need to take your time for fights like this. You are not really showing a lot of respect to your opposition and you are faltering for it. In these type of fights, it's going to get a lot more predominant as more time goes on. Deadly. Already spotted out the first initial player, looking to get a little bit more of a first initial dual contact, but I do believe that they're already expecting one player to be there. Slimzera. We're on the other end of things though. They're going in for a full-on rotation, and this is such a bad idea. They've sold the fake. They completely sold the fake, but Doomsday is expecting someone to be close. Deadly. Run on in from the back. They want to play this side for a little bit more on retake.
Standing ahead.
Gunbolt coming out from the side. That's going to be the first initial catch. Doomsday, beautiful when it came down to the tap. The raid boss is finally down. And they want to find even more. Doomsday got for the second. Doesn't really find the third. He does get traded out right at the very end. And the trades are coming in back and forth from either side. No smokes in hand from either end of things. As Deimos, they are going to need to fight into this try. First kill is pretty much everything here. Spec spotted out the player over towards the side of main box. KZ1, good for the kill. Gets the triple to his name. It's Muffin. Doesn't really find anything here as Specs. Clutch Master at work. Needs to try and find something. Has to jump over towards the box, but no one speaking of. He has absolutely nothing to play with. 94.
Take a breath now. Release.
It's RedViperZ. They have a complete strategy for this particular map, and that strat alone is giving them this rounds. Deimos on the other hand, what is your answer? What are you trying to employ? What are you really trying to do? Because you are not playing for information. Where are the recon darts? Where is the drone? I want to see both of those things coming in and out as often as possible because you want to try and play for information. You are constantly getting caught off guard over one side. If you know an A fake is coming, then you can run over, drone mid, and you'll be like, wait, they're not coming in through mid. Then that means that they have to be heading towards the A side. Small stuff like this is what you really need to hope for as Doomsday does find the beautiful one tap over onto one, but gets shut down by the other. This eco round has already started off on the right foot. They've gotten a bunch of guns to play around with. It's all on the back of Doomsday being able to find those phenomenal frags over from the side. Wreck it. It's gonna be on the other side of things, though. It's Deadly. A little bit questionable what he was trying to do. The jumping possibly just didn't work out in his favor. A little bit of lag could be causing some issues, but the Sova dying like that, yeah, that is something that you just don't want to face, as Wreck-It. Casually just gets a double kill. The Vandal sprays absolutely perfect for his skin control. Because now they're looking to get that last and final blow over from the side. Easy one. Over on the other side of things. Wants to maybe find this engagement, but Specs is not gonna get anything done. 10-4 as these rounds are getting closer and closer over to that 12. With double digits already online, the pressure is on as Deimos Force. They can feel the crunch happening already.
Play some stars in this reality.
RedViperZ still on the other side of things. What do they want to do? Because now that they are in the driver's seat, they can do pretty much all of their strategies and they can still get away with it. Because once more, it's just all about the snowball effect. And because of the snowball effect being such a prominent thing, RedViperZ, whatever strategy they try to employ now, it's just gonna plan out for them. And Deimos, they're just constantly second guessing themselves, and unless we see something drastically different with them being able to go in for early bouts of information, play the map a lot more aggressively, take control of one particular side of the map, things are not going to be looking that good. I was hoping that Muffin would be trying to push up C-Long at this stage. Maybe a push towards C-Long would give them some information to play with, because Deimos, they are now absolutely dry on info and they're trying to play reactive. Reactive play is something that you just cannot play on Valorant that well. Be a lot more proactive. Take fights, take duels. Try to gain information based upon sound. There's a lot of tools that you can have to your arsenal that is not revolving around pretty much all of that. Doomsday!
Down A.
Good for the double kill. The strafing was perfect from this guy. Opting for the over-aggressive peek as Specs. You try to go in astral form as Slim Zera just gets completely caught off guard. It's Fury looking for the first initial fight. Good for one kill. Over on the other. And deadly.
Last player standing.
No real necessity to swing that way. Could have just waited. He knew where the player was. And that's a lot of guns being lost. Deimos won the round, but at what cost? It's a tough one for them to bring into.
Grounded.
Tuesday though, beautiful when it comes down to his tabs. The guy just knows what he needs to do, and he is bringing in the pain and bringing in the hurt with these knives in hand, and he is just going ham. Doomsday, the confidence is back, and Tamim is now back on towards the server, singing his lullabies of death to the enemy. As a skipper in his hand, and he is singing the song of death. He's looking for the ace, and he's now hungry for it. Give it to the man. Don't take it away from him, because Doomsday is now here to bring in a Ragnarok. 10-6 as Deimos, they hold it down strong, and they are not giving up without a fight. Now with him being heated up to a point of no return, Deimos, they have a chance of coming back into this game. Doomsday.
Hoops.
Yep, he's spotted on the side of the head. That's gonna be the spam kill that he wanted. Looking for another one, and the guy is just on fire. You don't give him an ace. Doomsday's one of those players that as soon as he finds an ace, this guy will turn things up to 100 in a matter of seconds. He's looking for even more. He knows. There's absolutely nothing that they can do to stop him. He's now on the server and he is ready to play. He will take his team on his back if it means carrying them to the victory. That's exactly what's going to happen, possibly. Then Zero over from the side. It's gonna be Specs getting caught out by a lot of utility. You needed to give up that space there, Specs, because that is a fight that you just cannot take. And now with the push out over from one side, they're looking to get even more out here. It's Muffin, good for one. It's Doomsday. Gets shut down, but Deadly's gonna be there for the cleanup. 10-7. It's Deimos clawing their way back over to that 10-10 to just try and equalize things out. They're not really losing a lot of their players just yet, so that's the good part of this. They're building up an economy, and that economy will be a must because Doomsday possibly could just get an op soon. And that op could be what they need to get them to that finish line.
Turret out.
Let's just see what he has in store with this op. Over on towards mid and a shot play as well. Okay, buddy. Sure, man. Just do whatever you want. Take these duels, take these fights. You're gonna be able to do it all. Okay. He can do no wrong. He's confident. And I like that. This pizzazz is what they needed. As Deimos, they're just taking them to town. God damn, Deimos Force. It's like a fire has been lit straight up under them. And they're going the distance with Doomsday carrying them on its back. That is how you do it. And these plays are what's necessary to get to that finish line.
Get out of my way!
You do see a little bit more of an aggressive play coming into Garage though this time. That's a lot of information already being gained on from one side. Slimzera going to be a little bit more on the dicier side of things, and he misses out on a lot of shots. Deadly. He needs to run this one away, but that smoke is so perfect coming in from Specs. He gives so much information away and so much space to his team to play around with. Swing out from one side. Slimzera, though, regardless, he gets a triple kill out of this. What is Slimzera doing, man? He's... How? Why? He takes everything away. He just flips around 180, 90. Doesn't matter. He's gonna crank 360s if he needs to try and get his team over to that finish line. But his work is going unattended. 10-9 from a... What? An 8-4. It was a 10-4 before this. And Slimzera is still getting kills. He's still getting frags. Deimos Force, they're throwing everything other than a kitchen sink at this guy. And he's still able to find kills. But that does not mean anything. They have an answer to try and close out rounds, and possibly with this pause, they can put a stop to that snowball effect because it's gotten out of control. The members of RedViperZ, they're now sweating bullets to try and maybe survive this one. Pretty much a do or die round coming in now from the side of RedViperZ. I do believe their economy's taken a pretty hefty hit too here. That economy. It's not gonna be that well loaded for them.
Covering it.
We'll see a little bit more of
Deploying
very
drone.
slow and methodical play. They need info. They need to try and find something here. Give them an edge. That's gonna be a wallbang spam. Thank God, coming in from Specs. He's able to use the astrogravity well to give them that slight bit of information. That's going to be a catch over onto one, trying to maybe go in for a couple of spam shots over onto Slim Zera. He takes a hefty chunk of damage. But maybe Deadly with an ult could have been the game changer. He had an opportunity to use it, but he doesn't want to risk anything. He knows how dangerous things can be. All the information being gained, all the fights being taken. And now Deadly is possibly going to get put out of the frying pan and straight up into the fire. Muffin over from one side. He does get shut down. And now the C side looks ripe for the picking.
30 seconds
Doomsday
left.
all the way on the other side of the map. And Deadly, he needs to be the one. He needs to be the connoisseur of these fights. Zara not really going to be the
You should
fight
run.
that he would have wanted to take. But let's get traded out right at the very end. 3 versus 3 on the map. The Killjoy lockdown is going to give a lot of space and a lot of time to play with. They can do whatever setup that they want. Now here's where the hit comes in. Doomsday did pop out the Blade Sword. Give them that first running edge. Wreck it. Good for the kill. Swing out from the side. Sal's going to be able to get that shutdown kill over onto another. And now here's where the problems start to arise. They need to use these ults. They need to go in for this hold. He needs to try and stick it to half. Not gonna happen. The Now Storm does the work. It's Oliver does get the final blow. You need to be careful about these engagements. You had a Sova ult
Make
to
sure
play
to cover
with
the angles
too.
I can't.
There were so many things that you could have done to turn the round on its head, but that's the thing. You have already taken down the player over towards C-Long. You can start pushing it up. You can take a lot more of a close engagement over to that C-Long side because you know Garage is heavily contested. You cannot swing Garage anymore. Your players are giving you information, and those 2 kills alone just turned everything on its head. Play towards C-Long instead. At least would have had a better timing, maybe a bit more time for your teammates to play with. Small things here and there are what really are causing the members of Deimos to fall apart. Doomsday on the other side of things, though. He's looking for a kill, and goddamn, you don't give this man anything. If you walk into his sight, he will make sure to absolutely body you. Doomsday is looking to be the executioner for this one. It's a 0. Now with the ults finally coming in from the Killjoy as well, they're going to be able to hold down the sides for a lot longer than expected. Specs is going to be able to find a trade-off kill over onto one, but at the end of the day, they're still able to run over towards that C side. Poor old Specs had no idea what just hit him.
Spike planted.
Train rate came in from the front. They do find 1 kill over from the side. Deadly's gonna be good for the first. The engagements are perfect, and they're able to hold regardless of everything. Garage players not been cleared. You need to clear Garage before you take these fights here, buddy. And Muffin's gonna be there for the equalization. That's completely fine and dandy. At the end of the day, if you're able to just find the finishing blows, that's all that you need. You're okay with it. But goddamn Deimos, they need to start clearing out their corners. Slow, methodical play is a must. Not clearing out Garage, big mistake there. 11 to 10, yes, but their buys are looking a little bit weak. Their economy needs to start building up a lot further. Because without that economy, they're not going to be looking pretty.
Alarm bot out. Placing swarm grenade.
Muffin was able to supply a gun to his teammate, but for how long is the real question. You still have a couple of more rounds to play with. If you lose here, and if your eco is not strong enough to sustain a strong buy, you're in a tough spot. Slim Zera already getting a catch over on Spec. The trades are going to be good, but these trades are not really as favorable as you would think. Think about it. That's a Jet for an Astra. On defense, that's going to be the biggest hurt. Biggest FU if you were not careful. Doomsday still, regardless, he is there with the he has the crutch in his hand to make things work. Muffin with the over-aggressive play, that's what I love to see. Take control, take these fights, and send them back down. the members of Deimos, they finally found their foothold over towards the side.
Their tech is only
11
as
to
good as their
11, ladies
skill.
and gentlemen,
They
as
have
they
some
are
beats.
now looking to try and find match point for RedViperZ.
Turn out.
This is a nightmare
Placing alarm
coming to
bot.
life.
Placing swarm grenade. Placing swarm
This
grenade.
is not what you would have hoped for. This is not what you were thinking about when you had an 8-4 finish on your hand. Because this defense coming in from Deimos is just something phenomenal to watch. They have the timings, they have everything under wraps. And with this pause now being taken to maybe just get an idea and try to fix out some problems, the odds are stacked against the members of RedViperZ, momentum-wise, and of course, just team morale. Bouncing back from losses like this is what really separates a good team from an amazing team. There will be times where you just take heavy losses. There's absolutely nothing that you can do. You're gonna finish a half 10-2 or maybe even 12-0. And at the end of the day, you're fighting on 12-11 with your opponents taking 12 rounds consecutively on their attack or defensive side. You don't know what to expect. But that's the thing. When you are down bad that far, this is where a team will start to show its true colors. Do you have the mental fortitude to hold the distance? You're gonna find that out soon enough, as soon as this pause ends. Because with how things are going, it could go either way. But for me, I'm hoping for the best for both of these teams, because the journey for them has not really been easy, especially RedViperZ, where they have faced off against a plethora of very incredible teams. There's a reason why they deserve to be here. Especially when you have a team like RedViperZ on your side. It'll be incredible to see what they can bring down to the table now. With this pause finally being over and the game starting up once again, what's their strategy here? So we do see an aggressive play coming out from Doomsday on the top end of the side. He is not really holding it. And if he did hold it, he's going to be a lot more different. The trolls now coming out from the front end. He's looking to find that over-aggressive play. He's going to try to go in for the swing out. That's the first. He wanted it. He's looking for the second. He's not going to be able to get it. But regardless, it's going to be Slim Zero just pushing out straight through the smoke. There's absolutely no clear in the world. He's still able to take those fights. That's a 1-for-1 that they were hoping to get. But with the flank now being opened up, they have a lot of options to play around with. KZ1, good for the first. The ult's gonna get popped, and that will waste a lot of time. This will force the defenders to get into a crunch position where they need to try and turn things around from here. Muffin gets caught out from the side. He tries to push in by himself. There's no setup, there's no timing. He is getting shut down in more ways than one. And this one pause coming in from the members of RedViperZ is all that they required.
One
His
enemy
key,
remaining.
Deadly's gonna be good for the first. Sahil's not gonna be good for anything else from there. 12-11 as RedViperZ, they turned it around on its head.
Match point.
It's Deimos. They got caught with their pants down here. Something slow and methodical could have worked, but took a little bit more of a rushed approach, and they're suffering for it.
Revealing area.
One more round will decide it all. Recon does get taken out, so
Get out of my
we
way.
do get some bout of information. Doomsday, an absolute Chad when it comes down to his shots. He does get the aggressive play and shuts down a very important player coming in from the side of RedViperZ. That reach carries so much weight on a round like this. When you know it's a do or die, that breach is the one thing that you know will set you up for victory. Looking for maybe another fight here. Little bit dicey with it, but Doomsday, he knows to back on off. He needs to give up the space, allow them to take it. Maybe a too much of an aggressive approach. Not really the fight that he wants to find, but still, regardless, Specs is going to be there for the backup. Last player remaining will be KZ1. Get shut down on the side. And with that, a 12 and 12 as Deimos Force, they take a
Switching
flawless
sides.
send us over
Overtime.
onto overtime.
We gotta pick.
Map number 2, heading on over onto overtime like this. Not really the expectations, because we all expected this if we head over to the third map, but with Deimos putting up such a good fight, there's a chance for a 2-0. And they're fighting to establish themselves as dominant champions. Alright, a little bit of a... how do I put it? Undecisive approach? Okay, that could have gotten really bad really quickly. That was a half-baked approach over towards the seaside. Making a lot of noise over from the side. Oliver could possibly walk away with the kill here if they're not careful. They need to hold this one down for as long as possible. KC1 good for the first kill. Looking for even more. Jumped up from the side, Oliver! You don't do that!
Standing.
You just have to hold there, buddy! Deimos, how did this even work? That was a half-baked approach over towards the
Switching
seaside. We
sides.
all saw that.
Match
No
point.
smoke over to the side of window. He just casually walked in, jet smoked it, and just took it away. What just happened there, Deimos?
Placing swarm grenade.
That's not how you play Valorant.
Swarm grenade.
That's not how this game is meant to be played, at least. Surprising takes coming in from the members of Deimos here. They're now looking for even more.
Got him.
Hey, good shots. Doomsday, man. He is looking to cause a lot of damage. He's looking to find one more kill possibly here. The headshots are good from him, but he needs to show some level of respect. With Slimzera going down, though, that is a pretty hefty hit. Don't forget it. Because that hit alone changes the entire flow of this battle. You now don't have your entry fragger anymore to break you in towards the side, but Fury's going to be the one to step up. Muffin gets caught out on the lurk. A little bit too aggressive for his own good after the first initial take. Doomsday, good for the first, good for the second. He's looking for his third. He's not going to be able to get it, but regardless of it, Specs is going to be there to get the final frag up. Now wreck it.
Flash out!
The backbone for the squad, the breach for the team. Position already compromised. And with this, Deimos, they can literally smell the finish line in front of them. The trophy to become the in-game esports grand finalists is right on the edge. It's on the cusp of their hands. And wreck it. They steal it away
30
from them.
seconds left.
A lot of noise being given. 30 seconds left on the clock. It's gonna be Specs with a walkout and the final kill to finish it off. And that is how you finish up a grand finals. But Specs taking charge right at the very end. The captain getting the final kill, and Doomsday just carrying the entire team on his back when they needed him the most. An ace, and then of course came in the incredible one taps for this man. He knows what he needs to do to bring it home for the squad. 33 kills for Doomsday, 31 kills for Doomsday. Sorry, 31 kills for Slimzera. Perfection at its finest. That is how you are meant to play the game. That is how you're supposed to do it. Both of these teams, they played their hearts out. But at the very end, the mental fortitude of RedViperZ just could not last. They were making mistake after mistake after mistake. And Deimos' unconventional approach in some of these rounds is what's really costed them. The raw mechanical skill being showcased by players like Doomsday was just phenomenal. No respect whatsoever to his opponents. And because of something like that, they're just gonna get shut down in more ways than one. But ladies and gentlemen, I have to say, that was a phenomenal grand finals to watch. And goddamn, we have to give our thanks over to ViewSonic for helping us getting all of this stuff. Champions in front of your screen already, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, it will be the side of Deimos Force. I love the graphics, man. Come on, in-game, they have phenomenal graphics designers. To make stuff like this, it takes time, but they do it in style. Doomsday, Deadly Specs, Muffin, Sile, and Salute can all take a bow because your team performed to the point of no return. Stepping up right at the very end when it was required, you did it all for your squad. But for now, I want you guys to do it all for the in-game community, in-game esports community, and of course ViewSonic by checking out all the links down below on the side. Give a follow on their socials, and also follow me on my socials. Of course, Aggressive2 at Twitter, Aggressive, Caster Aggressive over on towards YouTube, and of course my page on Facebook. Check it out, all links down below on the side. But for now, it's gonna be your boy Aggressive taking a bow to this entire stream. It was a phenomenal thing to cast, and it was a fun one to bring it to you all back at home. But for now, good night and happy gaming, everyone.